Good afternoon, everybody. Happy July. Here we are, halfway through the year. It's been a very, very, very long year for some and a very, very short year for others. But I haven't made a video in a little while now. A little bit of that is due to the change in background I have here. Those of you know why. But I was just sitting here doing some writing. I finally have a little bit of time alone, so I figured I might as well share some with you guys. So I'm just going to jump right in. When you look in the mirror, in the morning when you get up, you're brushing your teeth. When you look in the mirror, do you see a good man, woman, person? If you don't look in the mirror and see a good, great person looking back at you, start today. And don't stop until you do. Do not stop until you do see a good person looking back at you in that mirror. One of the main things that I think life is about is being a good person. Whether that be being kind or being virtuous or moral or whatever you define a good person as, make yourself one. What's good for the bee is good for the hive, and vice versa. So, what's good for you is going to be good for all of society. The better you are, the better the people you surround yourself will be. You are your own keeper. At the end of the day, you always have your own back, so take care of yourself. That's not to say that when you need help you can't reach out for it, because by all means do. But I feel like some people tend to reach out a little bit too easily. I was guilty of it when I was younger. I wanted to just put my problems on other people because I wasn't brave enough to deal with them myself. I've grown past that now. And now when I know it's something that I can handle, I handle it. I don't like to burden others with problems that I don't think need burdening. If it's something that I can't handle myself, then by all means I'll involve somebody who I trust. But at this point in my life, I'm starting to realize that I need to have my own back first. Because if I don't have my own back, either I can't have anyone else's back, and I shouldn't expect anybody to have mine. So that's something I was thinking about earlier. Some people like to save other people. I'm not talking about helping somebody. Of course, you need to help somebody when they need help. That's your duty as a human being. That's your duty to society, is to help people and give back. But I have some friends who try to save people. They see people going in a direction that they don't like. Not just their friends, it can be anybody. And they wanna be what saves that person. People save themselves. You can help them save themselves. You can definitely help them. But you can't save anybody. And the sooner you realize that, the more effective you'll be with helping people. Because you'll stop trying to be what saves them and start helping them save themselves, which is the only thing that's effective. That's what we need to start doing, is helping people save themselves. Not saving people. Saving people doesn't work. You just end up hurt in the end when everything that you did doesn't work. Because you weren't helping that person. You were trying to save them for your own benefit. It's the second half of 2020. That first half really flew by. Imagine what you could have accomplished by now if you had started January 6th, 6 months ago. Now, imagine what you can do in the next 6 months. Don't have this conversation with yourself again in December. Start today. Doesn't matter what it is. Start today. And you will have noticeable change by December. George Bruno writes, well, he says all the time that by this time next year, you can be totally unrecognizable. And that's true. And you could be halfway there. In that short amount of time, from New Year's till now, you could be halfway there. So start today. and be halfway there in December. I went to the North River Falls recently. I've been doing some writing about them. It was a long hike. It was very long. It was physically taxing to some extent, but it was worth it. The falls are beautiful. The scenery along the trail is really nice. If you haven't been, and if you're able to go, I highly suggest going. The North River Falls in Cape Breton. People need to stop participating in groupthink. Just believing what their friends believe, what their parents believe, what their colleagues believe, and taking everybody's word at face value. Groupthink is the death of individuality. Don't you want to be an individual? I know I do. I want to have my own thoughts, my own opinions, my own things that I can share and bring up at social gatherings. Not just to agree with everybody. I want to have my own thoughts. Don't you want to have yours? Restrictions seem to be easing. The Atlantic bubble is now officially in effect. It's scary for some people. For others, it's relieving. For others with family out of province who are in Atlantic Canada who they can see again. For businesses. For other people, it's a little bit scary. The good news is, you can choose your attitude toward it. You're in charge of that. So, make the best out of it. Do what you can. What you can't do, don't do. Don't waste your time with it. For the people my age and younger, that's really all I can speak to because that's what my experience is limited to, but I think this could apply to people who are a little bit older. How often do you hear, "I wish I had done it when I was younger"? How often do you hear that? You hear that all the time. When anybody talks about quitting a job that they hate, or either starting a relationship or ending a relationship, you often hear people say, "I wish I'd done it when I was younger." Save yourself the regret and do it now. I was talking to a close friend the other day about change. And I said, the fruits of reward are produced by the flowers of change. And the flowers of change come from the buds of growth. What's keeping your buds from blossoming and you reaping the rewards of change? What's preventing you from doing that? I say whatever it is, address it now, so that when it comes time that you're middle-aged, toward the end of your life, or even on your deathbed, you're not saying, "You know what? I wish I'd done that younger." Because time is our most valuable asset. It's something that you can't hoard, you can't hang on to, you can't control the speed at which it flows. Time comes and time goes. And it speeds up. Every year it gets faster and faster and faster. So why waste your most precious commodity on something that you don't like? Why waste that? Spend it wisely. If you're somebody who's frugal with money, apply those same principles to your time. Spend it wisely. Invest in yourself. Invest in the people that you care about. Because the time that you have with the people that you care about is always shorter than you think. Always. There's a poem I think about sometimes. And it reads, "This house is mine and mine alone. It rests upon a clover throne. With doors locked shut and lawn mowers shrill, the air inside is cold and still. But once I stopped to look and see the worker ant, the busy bee. In early dawn the larks will sing, the leaves gently whispering. And then I noticed my small abode was not just mine, so nature told. Now I see it's theirs to share. The maple tree and the snowshoe hare. My home now sits with doors ajar. I sip tea from a mason jar. I know it may sound quite bizarre, but my home is where the creatures are. I like that. I want you to think about what that house looks like. What it looks like. Who's in it, where it is, what the person who wrote that does. Are they old? Are they young? Are they retired? Do they write? What was their job? Do they have a spouse? Do they have a loved one? Do they have a pet? What color is it? How big is it? Is it on a lake? Is it in the woods? Is it on a street? Is it in a city? I want you to think about that and let me know. Let me know what you think that house looks like. I'm interested to see. I think sometimes we cut ourselves off too much from our nature as human beings. Also nature regarding wildlife, plant life, the outdoors. But sometimes I think we like to try to remove ourselves from our humanity. Because not everything about humanity is pretty. Not everything about humanity is nice. I think that it would be best for some of us to get back in touch with that humanity sometimes. I have a few more videos I want to do soon, now that I have some more time on my hands. I'll be sharing some more of my writing with you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I have no challenge this week. I have no challenge. I have nothing that I need you to do. All I want is for you to find out what's preventing you from allowing your growth to turn into change so you can reap the rewards. Thank you very much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your week.